All right, hello everyone. Paul Shakuri here, and we are starting exactly. I am starting exactly at 7 o'clock on the dot. First of all, thank you so much for taking the time out of your busy day to, really jump in on a webinar with me and learn this stuff. Now, the number one thing I promise you in this webinar is it will not be boring. I've been to so many freaking webinars where it's just some guy sitting up there talking, clicking on a mouse, and you don't even get to see his face. Hey, door knockers, we're door knockers, right? So a couple things. Number one, on this side right over here, you're going to see an actual poll. So I'm going to be taking, let me start clicking on some of these. I'm going to be I'm going to be asking you guys questions, and that way you guys will actually get to see the results of people who are on here and these polls. So I'm going to pop these questions on, and if you want to answer them, it just takes literally like a second to just answer the question. And then I think right after you click on it, you'll actually see the results of the people in this room. Just different stuff so I get to know you guys more. I really want you guys to get to know me better because, this whole door-to-door mastery stuff, I'm dedicated to it. And, I've put my all, given my all, and I'm going to continue to do that because I'm seeing tremendous results. And more importantly, you guys are actually getting results. So I've coached thousands of people in this game, made thousands of dollars in this game. So I really want to teach it to those who really want to learn it. So yeah, I'm gonna post these polls up on the side, on this side right over here as they come. Okay, and so yeah, let's get started. I'm gonna jump back in here to my screen capture and talk to you guys about the opener pitch starting with me. I am Paul Shakuri, and what today's agenda is gonna be like. Okay, today I'm going to go over number one, first of all, a little bit about me. And before I even start that, also on the side, you will actually see a chat box. Okay, I'm going to take questions. You guys, hello. You guys are already writing hello there. Sorry, there's a list. So hello, everyone. But feel free to ask me any questions you may have. I will not be able to answer them right away on the spot as I'm going to go through this, and this webinar should last no longer than 1 hour, okay? I'm going to keep it at that, but feel free to ask questions, and as I kind of take a little bit of a break, I'm going to answer the questions that you guys have, okay? So we're going to go over today's agenda about me. Frick yeah, you guys need to know this stuff. Why? Because you guys will share certain similar common interests that either happened in my past or that are happening right now that will click inside your head, and you're going to say, you know what, Paul? I can see myself kind of being in your shoes, where you were, where you are, and I can learn off you, or it helps to give you that motivation to stick in with it. Next, we're going to go into what exactly is the opener. Hi, Simon. I saw that right there. Bam. You said hi and caught me on the corner of my eye. So what exactly is the opener pitch? Next, what are you trying to accomplish? I can tell you the majority of people, what's up, Sean? The majority of people have no idea, okay? No idea, I promise you, what you're really trying to accomplish here in the opener pitch. It's very important you understand what you're trying to accomplish, and I'm going to get into the details of why and what exactly you should. So how do you accomplish this? How? Guys, during your pitch, I also want you guys to know this, you door knockers, you need to know you need to be able to bring the message to your customers, what you're doing, why, and how you're going to accomplish it. I'll get into the details of that in this webinar. So how you're going to accomplish it. And then what not to do. Yeah, but Paul, you're going to tell me what not to do. Why don't you tell us what to do? Hey, get excited. I'm going to give you guys a sample pitch, all right? I'm going to get into the details of a sample pitch of me actually on screen going back and forth with you guys, okay? Just like this. So this is a Google Hangout. Unfortunately, I bought this program, fortunately and unfortunately, but I bought this actual program that integrates us with each other, thinking that if you guys would ask a question, I can pull you on the air and we can talk. Unfortunately, it doesn't quite work that way. I didn't know that, so I'm going to hold these webinars for now to start, and then I'm going to jump into GoToMeeting, GoToWebinars, ones I used to use, and I still use for my internet marketing company that I own as well. Okay, so let's jump on into this. I'm super excited and pumped to bring this to you, because you guys need to stay focused. You guys need to ask questions. You guys need to really learn this stuff, because it really does make sense once you start implementing it over and over again. All right, so me, Paul Shakuri, who am I? Where was I born? Edmonton, Alberta, for those people who are in here who actually are from Edmonton, Alberta, there are a lot of people in Canada, based out of Canada, who knock on doors. Yeah, it gets freaking cold out there, but so many people a while back when I got started around 8-9 years ago actually started from there. Okay, we got recruited and we actually started in the industry. But I'm going to get into that after I tell you guys Al Bundy. Was I seriously like Al Bundy who sold shoes? Yeah, I sold shoes, but the sporting shoes. Okay, the ones you get at Sport Chek for you Canadians. You know, Sport Chek is like the Dick's Sporting Goods of America, I'd have to say. You know, they're just huge. They're massive. Where I worked was West Edmonton Mall out of Edmonton, Alberta. Now, for the people who are in America who are here, you guys know Mall of America in Minnesota. Well, the Mall of America in Minnesota is very similar to the West Edmonton Mall of Canada. It's like unbelievable. They got a skating rink. It's insane. It's insane how you wouldn't be able to see the whole mall in one actual day. Okay, so I'm going to end that poll, and I'm going to pop up another poll for you guys over here. So which country do you sell in? Because I'm briefly talking about, you know, Canada and whatnot. But I'm going to start that poll right now. Okay, so the next, I graduated from business marketing. So first of all, when I finished out, high school, I decided I wanted to go into computer science, not business school. Why? Because I was super excited back in the dial-up days. Yeah, some of you people who are on here, the more mature ones, know dial-up days where we used to have to call in and none of this high-speed internet stuff that a lot of people have the luxury of. But, I would actually have to dial in, and I was super excited and pumped to know that, I wanted to create a game. I wanted to get involved in this whole, online stuff and creating games and making applications. I loved software. I just loved it. So I thought, okay, I graduated. My dad and my mom always pushing me, saying, get an education. Everybody knows if you actually have an education, it's the best thing for you. I'm not bashing it. Great, I got an education. But, I went into computer science only to find out that I'm doing like literally 7 to 8 hour sessions of class, and then like 3 days a week I have a lab where I gotta sit there and program behind a computer. I mean, I didn't know programming was like, C:\\\. It wasn't even like that, but all these brackets, open brackets, this does that, hit that, and it does this. I was like, dude, deep within me, again, I was, young at the time, but I didn't know what exactly I wanted from life. I knew I wanted to be wealthy. At a young age, I knew I wanted to be wealthy. And in my head, I'm like, with my education, with my degree, if I graduated and then, well, I knew I was going to graduate, but by graduating, I'd be able to create this and make a bunch of money from like software and stuff. But lo and behold, I found out that wasn't what excited me. So I was, throughout my halfway through, my first semester in computer science, I decided I was going to drop out. And, my family was like, drop out? Are you crazy? At a university? You fought so hard to actually get there. Why are you going to drop out? I did. I dropped out and I went and took business. Why? Because I knew one thing. I wanted to be wealthy. Okay, I took business, but I took it like seriously about 3 to 4 years straight. And what do I mean by that? It's complicated, but where I went to in Ontario, Canada, I can pick up my half semesters at a time and even do summer school, a whole semester in summer school. Windsor, Ontario, for you Canadians on here who know where that is. That's where I actually went, and I finished and graduated. And right after graduating, folks, it was a sad thing. I mean, my grandma passed away, so I decided to go back home to Edmonton. But I was able to get a job right away in an accounts payable department, kind of in my field, working for this large company called Northgate Industries. In Edmonton, Alberta, and this was through a friend of mine. He actually got me this job with his mom, so it was an office job. Wow, an office job making about like $1,100 an actual a week. It was like $1,100 minus all your taxes and whatnot. How exciting! Cha-ching! I'm raking in the money, right? Well, it was about. I was also promised a raise. I got started at $32,000, whatever it was, a year. And to me, out of college, I'm like, well, whatever. If I want to be wealthy, I want to be a millionaire because that's my dream. That money, I could just keep saving it up, and I can eventually be wealthy. Lo and behold, they told me I was going to get a raise after my first year, to the day, like seriously, to the day. I went in and I went to my boss's office. And this is all important. I really want you guys to understand this. This isn't rambling on about me just to sound cool about myself. It's not. You guys all have a story to tell. And I want you to know, if you're knocking on doors, you have to remember your story. So this is the purpose. So many people will actually just do whatever they want at the doors and think they can figure it out on their own and think they know, what it takes when they're not getting the results. So understand, everything I teach you, I'm a detailed person. Everything I teach you guys and gals, obviously, who are watching this, it's very important. The details make up the big end of the spectrum, okay, on you closing more sales. So, I actually graduated. I went at the end of the year to get my raise. I walked in my boss's office, and I was super excited. And he actually called me into the day, and he said, "Hey, Paul, congratulations. Yeah, we got a proposal for you. You've been doing awesome, and I'm gonna get you your raise here within the next couple of days." I'm like, "Okay, cool. Do you have any idea how much it is? What I can get? What I'm gonna be getting?" Yeah, it's gonna be around the $1,000 to $1,500 range. And I'm like, "Oh, okay." Back in my head. Please don't tell me per year. You better not be meaning per year. Yeah, so 2 days later, I got the raise, and it was per freaking year. I want to be a millionaire. I want it, and I'm getting a $1,500 raise. You 9-to-5s out there, well, you're door knockers, the majority of you guys and gals out here, so you know what I'm talking about, dude. That's ridiculous, and as you'll get to know, that's like 1 or 2 sales, depending on what you sell. But to me, I'm like, yeah, I gotta find another job. I'm gonna be looking. So, anyways, the same person who got me a job at that company got me a job knocking on doors, and here's where things start to switch and shift in my life, and I'm gonna share it with you. So, I actually started selling for a company called Direct Energy. Yes, in minus 60 degrees Celsius. Okay, Fahrenheit and Celsius actually meet up at a certain point, so I believe that's the same as Fahrenheit. Like when you get wind chills, yeah, I actually knocked in that temperature. Why? Because I had the earning potential to make, anywhere from $200 to $500 a day. We were selling electricity and natural gas contracts, and electricity and natural gas contracts, what that meant to me was, if I'm selling this product or service, I got to do a bunch in any given day. I was getting paid $25 to $50 every single sale. So when I actually got started, I off the bat I did very good. Now hold on here. I'm going to tell you about my downfall, so don't worry. If you're not, you didn't start off doing phenomenal. Believe me, I'll tell you guys. Just hold on. But I actually started knocking, and I did really well. Off the bat, I was making about $200, $250 a day. I was banging on doors. The one thing I had was I was a racehorse. If anybody knows me, and there's a lot of you who have got to know me on this webinar already, personal, but, I don't give up. I don't quit. I don't give up. And I force myself and push myself to do the best. I'm on a hockey team here locally. I play a lot of sports, and I strive to be the best at everything I do. However, that actually affected me, and I'm going to tell you guys that when I talk about the next part right here. So I did start this, and a friend of mine named Jeff, who came from the car business, I'm pretty sure there's a lot of you guys who start, door knocking from the car business. The car business, it pays well, but there's tons of hours you got to put in, which everybody complains. A lot of you guys and gals on this actual webinar have, families. You guys have families, and you want to spend some time with your family members, and I understand that. I really understand that. So I stopped one poll, and I'm starting another one. So the big thing with that is he came from this car business, and he was literally the top salesperson, and in 1 week I was a top salesperson. Him, me. We were going back and forth, only until one day he goes, "Hey, Paul." I'm like, "Yeah." And I still remember the way he said it. I really do. He takes me aside, and he goes, "I'm kind of in the office." We had this office, and I'm kind of going to tell you something. Where I'm going to quit this job, and I'm going to work somewhere else. I'm like, "Dude, what is wrong with you? Are you kidding me? Like, seriously, it's door knocking. It's not that bad. You're freaking awesome at it. Why would you want to go work somewhere else? Don't tell me you're going back to the car business. You told me so bad how much you couldn't stand it." No. It's another door knocking job. It's another door knocking company, and I'm going to be selling home security. Ooh, I'm sure I just put the poll about home security. More than likely, is going to light up. But you know, a lot of you guys and gals, you know, sell home security. There's a lot of reasons. You know, door to door. So many different ways of making money with every single product. You got solar. You know, you got you got home security. You got pest control. You got cable, satellite. You know, there's so many different things. Roofing. There's ton jewelry. A lot of people sell door to door. But you know, he said he's going to do this, and I go, well, why would you do that? And he goes, well, because, you know, I get paid $125 every single sale, and the more I sell within 4 months, I make, you know, more money per sale. So for those of you who understand what summer programs are, that's exactly what he was going to do. So he sat down and he goes, Paul, this would make sense for me because, you know, I'm doing door knocking already. You know, why not actually transition into something that would pay me more? And in my head, I'm like, hello? This guy right here, dude, we're top salespeople, unless you're scared of competition. He goes, no. The only issue is we're leaving in 48 hours. I'm like, dude, I don't care. Single at the time. Let me talk to this boss, this manager. I promise you, that next day, he actually, he gave me the phone number to his boss. His boss went and met up with me at Tony Roma's. I still remember it to the day, downtown Edmonton. Went into this really nice restaurant, and you know, he sat down. We had like an hour-long dinner, and he was going through pictures of the previous season, previous year, what he did, what he accomplished, the guys that accomplished, the money they made, 6-figure incomes in 4 months. I'm like, dude, this is like my dream. I want to make money. I want to make money, but more importantly, I want to deliver a product. I want to be honest. I never want to lie, cheat, and steal. It's my personality. If I can deliver a product and or a service that made sense to somebody, and all that required was my work ethic for me to become successful, dude, sign me freaking up. I'm telling you, I was so pumped, so excited to hear that he said, Paul, I know you're going to do phenomenal. As a matter of fact, it looks like you'll probably be my top sales guy. I can already tell by the way you're talking, the way you're interacting with your personal skills. You'll do awesome at this. Yeah, lo and behold, you know, within like 8 hours, I'm packing, and we're freaking going to our first summer program. And that's where it all started, folks. The goods, the bad, the uglies. I'm going to get into the details, and I'm going to educate you on the opener pitch about this whole freaking webinar and what we're going to do. Okay, so let's jump back on into this and start that. So, you know, I went to that and I started my first summer program. And you know, I wasn't the top salesperson, just to jump into the end of it. I wasn't the top salesperson throughout the actual 4 months that we sold. Unfortunately, it was sad to know that, you know, within my first 2 months, I wanted to quit. I really wanted to quit, and I'm not a quitter, and as I said, but this job, knocking on doors, security, beat me up. Why? It beat me up bad because I wasn't the top salesperson. I was doing great. I was doing wonderful. I was making great money. However, I wasn't the top salesperson. I was spinning my wheels. And I want to teach you guys from my mistakes so you guys don't make those mistakes, and I get you guys gaining traction, making more money, closing more sales off the bat, because I know a lot of you guys and gals on here have family members you need to feed, you need to make money, you need to start building your accounts, and you need to start growing. So what is the opener pitch? The opener pitch is the first interaction. The first thing when you knock on that door, how you're presenting yourself, what you're saying. You know, that is what the opener pitch is. It's the start to your pitch. I love to say it's the most important step. Why? It's the most important step because, plain and simple, if you don't wake up, do you go to sleep? Think about that one. Paul, the close is the most important sale because if you don't close, you don't get a chance to open another door. Yeah, I understand that. It's like what came first, the chicken or the egg? Trust me when I say this. The opener pitch, it's the most important step to master. It's also the toughest part to master. And the majority of you are probably nodding your heads right now saying, yeah, Paul, you're right. It is the toughest part to master. Why? Plain and simple, it's the toughest part to master because people, off the bat, don't know how to act, and then also your potential customers think you're a door-to-door salesman, and when you knock on the door and they justify it, well, that's why you're getting rejected at the doors, and I'm going to get into the details on that. So, you know, it's also what makes the majority of newbies quit. I can promise you, I can tell you that, I can literally almost guarantee that. Why? Because I grew, one, my own office, but two, like I've trained over 1,000 salespeople guaranteed in my day. However, I've had over 200 salespeople at one given time at a company that I was actually the regional manager at, where I personally trained, recruited, taught, the massive majority of them. I learned this stuff, and I know exactly what you guys are going through and, what you guys are suffering with. Let me end that poll. Like I said, home security, wow, 71%, knew it. Okay, so, I want to get you guys, to really learn that this stuff isn't magic. I know it's going to feel like magic off the bat. It really is. But, if you have the mentality and the mind that you're never going to quit, no matter what, you're going to fight to actually really, really learn this stuff, you're going to see you're going to get further on within your pitch. And I'm going to get into the details of that. Let me just hit another one up here. Start a poll. And remember, ask questions. Let me go over here. Ask questions, ask questions, ask questions. Feel free in the chat. Don't worry. Don't be scared. I ask questions. These are awesome. At the end of this webinar, I'm going to answer questions, so long as you guys provide them. You guys have any questions about the opener pitch, okay? So let me jump back into this. So I'm going to share that screen right there, and we're going to talk about so obviously, no, it's what makes the newbies quit. It really does. The majority of people quit because they can't take rejection, especially with not progressing forward, okay? Especially when you're not progressing forward. But understand, every single door you knock on, you get better. So let's jump in. So what are you trying to accomplish here? What exactly are you trying to accomplish? Number one, you want to create interest, okay? Interest is, what is this person doing? That's the type of interest you want to create. Now, the massive majority of people, newbie salespeople, newbie door salespeople, you guys and gals out there are knocking on doors, uncomfortable, and I know that you're uncomfortable knocking on the doors, and you want to kind of feel that comfort. You want to gain a better feeling of yourself and what you're doing by creating interest, okay? Sorry, by telling them what you're doing, who you are, what company you work for, and your name. That's what the majority of people, door-to-door salespeople, new door-to-door salespeople do. You try to create that interest right away off the bat. And that's not what type of interest you need to create in your opener pitch. The type of interest you want to create in your opener pitch is engagement. You want people to actually, think in the back of their mind, and don't worry, I'm going to go into a sample pitch. What is this person doing at my door? What exactly is this person doing at my door? You want to confuse them. You never want to lie, cheat, and steal, or act like you're not doing what you're not really doing. But you want to confuse them. You want them to question in the back of their mind. Sorry, what? I thought this person was a salesperson at my door before I opened it. What is this person doing? And I'm going to show you how. And I'm confused. Okay, I'm stuttering there. That's how you want them to think. I'm going to show you how to. You want to be liked. No, not the hit the like button on Facebook. That's not the type of like I'm talking about. But you definitely want to obviously be liked, because the saying goes like this. If they like you, they will trust you. If they like you, if they like you, they will talk to you. And if they trust you, they'll do business with you. You understand that? If they like you, they'll talk to you. And if they trust you, they'll do business with you. So you want to build likability. You want them to like you and then trust. And how do you do that? Don't worry. The next slide, I'm going to talk about how you accomplish this. But understand, this is what you want to do. You want to be liked, and you want to build that trust factor, okay? Build that trust at the door. How? How do you do all this? Well, for you gals who are watching this, and you guys as well, you need to engage with people, okay? How many you guys out there? I'm going to talk about guys, and and let me switch so you guys can actually see me. A lot of you guys and gals out there, I don't know if you noticed, but times are changing, man. We're changing, and I'm actually seeing girls walking up to guys and asking them on dates. Hey, where was that during my time? How come my wife, I had to go up and come up with this opener pitch like, hey, what nationality are you? I've seen you around the college. I had to come up to them. And sure, the majority of people, yeah, that's still going on. But building engagement, likability, and trust, there's a lot of gals who are actually going up to guys these days. But back to the guys on gals, okay? So, for example, guys, if you're opener pitch when you're trying to pick up girls, and this isn't a pickup session, but if you're, hey, what's up, baby? How's it going? With your hat to the sideways. Oh, what's up, girl? Come on, I still see that going on. That's not how you pick up girls. okay? I'm telling you, back in my day, I was pretty slick. I was a salesperson, but you know, the big thing is be different. I'm going to show you guys how to, not on picking up girls, but you got to be different when you're actually communicating and talking to your potential customers. Because if you guys who have opted, guys and gals who opted in already of my door-to-door mastery program, where you actually see my free video series, in my opener pitch where I was training to a big group, to an audience of salespeople, you know, I trained and taught you guys. You need to think what is going on in your customer's mind before you knock on that door, okay? And even your pre-opener, which I teach, is how do you feel knocking on that door? If you're feeling all grimy and hey, how's it going? I got rejected at the last 10 doors. You know, not to that degree, but if you're really feeling sad, down, and you don't really feel that great, you know, you're knocking on that door, go home, try another job. You know, you need to pump yourself up. Hey, if those of you and guys and gals who are watching the actual World Cup, I'm a crazy fan. Nobody posts the score for the Italy and England game. I have that recorded. Didn't get time to watch it yet. Nobody posts that score. I'll get mad and I'll blast you out if you guys do on this actual webinar. But it's a good game, I'm pretty sure. Anyways, so, you know, the big thing with that is you want to engage. You want to build that trust and likability. You want to be different. They're thinking, what are the different scenarios that are going on? I love talking about the barbecue. The people are having a barbecue behind that door, and when you knock on that door, they're having a party. Oh, dude, is that somebody else perhaps at the party who's coming? Is that Brad? Is that Brenda? Is that Brian? I don't know. Let me go check. Or, you know, perhaps it's a couple watching a movie. Or, you know, the kids are bad. Everything's going crazy. It's chaotic. They're inside the house, ding dong. Or perhaps people are just sitting down, chilling, watching TV, you know, and ding dong, the doorbell rings. Oh, is it a door-to-door salesperson? Let me get up. You know, I just had a solar door-to-door sales guy knock on my door today. And I talk to salespeople all the time. I love it. Why? Because I do it. But anyways, you know, I always think of what's going on inside of an actual door. What could possibly be happening? And how can I, you know, increase my chances and odds of getting a sale by understanding what's going on inside their minds, okay? For you managers who are watching this, I hope you can actually, you know, show your salespeople exactly how to do these things by building this engagement. Learn it, master it. When you're super good at it, you're going to see their sales are going to increase, the ones that really want to get this. So your what's going on inside the door before you knock on the door, and then on top of it, how comfortable and well you feel at that door, okay? And I really want to educate you guys on that process because that makes all the difference. It's like one of these things where everything has to line up in order for you to, you know, maximize your ratio, your closing ratio. When I started off, 1 in 50 homeowners it would take me to actually close a sale. After that, it went down from 1 in 50, 1 in 40, 1 in 20, you know, 1 in 10 homeowners, and now 1 in 3 homeowners I talk to, you know, in order to close a sale. It's not magic. There's not this light shining on me from God just to be like, ah, it's Paul. And if I had, and you had to get to the effects, I can actually create some effect here, but it's not me just, you know, there's a light shining on also those people in your office who are doing really well. There's certain things they're doing, which I'm going to teach you and educate you on, that you can mirror. I promise you. It doesn't matter, you know, who you are, what your beliefs are. As long as you eliminate your old beliefs and just learn what they're doing, it may seem like magic. It's not. You're going to see results. You'll actually start seeing results. So I want to actually educate you guys on that, and let's jump into it. So, you know, you want to build engagement and you want to progress forward throughout the sale. Those of you who have already knocked on doors, and, you know, you guys and gals who actually saw that, you know, I keep knocking on doors and I feel like sometimes people actually tell me not interested way too often, and they keep giving me excuses, because for the most part, that's what it is. Yes, even the whole we can't afford it is an excuse, and I'll show you 9.9 times out of 10 why. But you want to focus on forward progression. You want to move towards your close. So I ended this poll, and it looks like the majority are sales reps, and there's some business owners in here, and some sales managers, no recruiters. Okay, so, you know, you guys can more than free to look at the polls too. So, you know, you build engagement and forward progression. How do we do this? How do you accomplish it? So we talked about what the opener pitch is. Then we talked about what you're trying to accomplish. Now we actually want to speak about how. Okay, how do you accomplish it? You need to be different, okay? How can you be different? Well, in order to be different, you need to understand what everybody else is doing. And if you're not getting, one in every, I'd say one in every, 3 people actually engaging with you, then you're more than likely not different than the other person. So you're doing exactly what you shouldn't be doing, and that's fine. When I started off, for my first 3 months, I would have to say my first 3 months, 2.5 months, I was not being different than the average salesperson that just knocked on their door. How was I still getting sales? That work ethic. I was talking to way more people at the doors than anybody was. I was talking to way more people at the doors than anybody was. However, that's not the way you want to do it, okay? It's not about talking to more people. In the beginning, if you're new or your salespeople are actually new, okay, you need to educate them on knock on as many doors as you possibly can, because each door you knock on, you gain knowledge, you gain education. And when you gain knowledge and you gain education, what happens at every single door, you get better and better and better, especially when you're learning, you're listening to my podcast, my Door-to-Door Mastery podcast. If you're a member of my Door-to-Door Mastery program, or you're jumping on these webinars and you're really learning and teaching yourself, reading from my blog, which I'll talk about later on, where there's a bunch of free information for you. If you're constantly learning, it's not magic. I promise you. I don't care who you are, what you believe in, you're going to get better. So be different. The average salesperson, this is exactly what they do. The typical salesperson. Knock, knock, knock. Hey, how's it going? My name is Paul Shakuri, and I'm actually with company XYZ. And what we're doing out here is we're doing this, this, and this. Now, in order for us to earn your business, you guys just spiel your words. You throw everything out right away. And you don't create curiosity. You give them everything they need to hear right away off the bat because you feel uncomfortable at the doors, right? I guarantee you, you're nodding your head right now. If you're not good at your opener pitch, that's exactly what you're doing. I've done it over and over and over again when I started off. I've trained thousands of sales reps, and I quickly correct it for them. Now, when you're going to know this stuff, trust me, you're going to go out there and you're going to get back into your routine, what you've been doing in the past. That's typical. That's common. Don't worry about that. The main thing you need to understand is how are you going to change it? Implement it every single day, and slowly you get better and better and better. So you want to create curiosity. Remember, you don't want to create curiosity in you or in your, you don't want to create curiosity in your product and or service right away off the bat. Your opener pitch, what you want to create curiosity in is what the heck is this person doing at my door? Why? So that they don't tell you not interested, so they don't slam the door on you, so they don't close you. Every single door, either you get closed or that customer gets closed. Somebody gets closed, and I sure as don't want you guys to. Yes, I bleeped that out myself. You guys don't want to get closed. You want to definitely, close the actual homeowner. So create curiosity. How? A couple things you could do is before you walk up to an actual door, look around at the neighborhood. Are there speed bumps in the middle of the road? Talk about speed bumps and how neighbors, which I know normally neighbors are complaining about either possibly getting speed bumps or people are complaining about, whatever, as you're knocking in neighborhoods. Some people are complaining about the last, it depends what state you're in, but, when the last rainfall affected, a lot of people's roofs. Even if you're not selling roofing, you actually want to talk about, hey, a lot of people have been complaining about that last rainstorm. Quick question for you. Did you have any issues here? Yeah, let's just say you're selling solar or security. It makes no difference. Please understand, your opener pitch, it's not about creating curiosity in your product or what you have to offer. It's building engagement, getting confident. You want to get confident at that door. You want to stand strong. You want to not sound so nice, so friendly and salesy. Hi, how's it going? My name is so-and-so. You don't want to spill out everything right away. You want to take these baby steps from step A to B, B to C, C to D, and move and progress throughout your sale. How do you do that? Whoa, question-based selling. I love it. I teach it. It's a game I play with all my door knockers. What I do is I get 2 people up at the front of the room. You cannot ask the same questions over and over again. Person A asks person B a question. Okay? Person B has to fight back with another question back to person A. Hey, how's it going? You are the homeowner here, right? Yeah, I am. A quick question. I thought I saw you at the corner store yesterday. Was that were you at the donut shop? Yeah, I was. Okay, quick question. And then going back and forth, okay? Questions, questions, questions. So how do you do this with homeowners? Okay, another thing you can do is if they have a fountain in the front of their yard, as you knock on the door, they open the door. Hey, quick question. That's a really nice fountain. Is that like Italian made? To be quite honest, I don't quite know. Oh, okay. It's my mom loves fountains, and she really does. This is the reason why I bring this up. And she has a couple, one in her front yard or backyard. So I talk about these things. I'm like, yeah, my mom collects those things. Wait a second. Speaking of Italy, did you get a chance to watch a soccer game? If you did, don't tell me the score. You see what I'm doing? I promise you guys, it sounds crazy. It may even feel extremely hard and difficult for you to be like this to start. It will be. I know it will be. The whole thing with this is you get better as you do this more and more often. You're going to get rejected often in the beginning, I promise you. But this job is just like an airplane that's taken off. I want to ask you this question. An airplane that's taken off, okay? And I'm going to jump back in so you guys can see me. Now, an airplane that's actually taking off, okay? Do you think this airplane uses the most of its fuel when it's taken off? So here's an airplane. This is horrible. But it's starting, and then it goes in the air, it's taken off, and then it's just coasting, okay? Let's just say this airplane is just coasting, and it's coasting, and it's coasting. When does the airplane use the mass majority of its energy? Think about this, okay? Does it use it in the beginning when it's taken off, right? When it's on the jetway, when it's on the runway? Or does it actually, use the most energy when it's coasting in the air? How about an actual car? Those of you who drive a lot in the city or take long road trips when you're on cruise control at a steady pace, okay, and on the freeway, where does it use the most of its fuel? I'm here to tell you, as I'm sure you know, point A, which is the start, hint, 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 the start is where you use the most of your energy, okay? Learning the job. Starting off, getting rejected, it may be very hard to take an airplane off the ground to start. The more you practice with a flight sim, okay, I'm not telling anybody, I don't want to get sued here. I'm not telling anybody to go fly a plane or do whatever. But the more you do it, the more you stick around it, door knocking, the more you actually learn your opener pitch, the more you practice, the more you do it. Your number one goal when you start off, knock on 1,000,000 doors, okay? I tell everybody who's new to just do that. Get it out of your system because you get more comfortable and more confident. But that's not your ultimate goal long term. What's going on is you're getting more comfortable at the doors. And I teach you guys how to take yourself from 1 in 50, 1 to 20, 1 in 10, 1 to 3. Because as you guys start getting comfortable and confident, you know what your salespeople are actually, your potential customers are kind of asking you. You start implementing these things one thing at a time, you get better and better. A huge thing that I struggled with was talking way too quick, as you guys and gals can tell. I'm pumped, I'm excited, I love this stuff. You don't have to be like that at the doors. I know top salespeople who are really calm and mellow, but they're super excited within them to close that sale. Quick question for you. They're excited to go and get 8 deals that day. Now, you're the homeowner here, right? Yeah, I noticed you have a little frog there. That thing looks real. Is that handmade? It may sound crazy at first. No, it's not. Because remember, you're shaking them off what they believe in right away, that you're a door-to-door salesperson. Who is this person? And another thing you want to do, which I'm going to talk about, and let's jump back into there, is, get plenty of rest. You want to get plenty of rest. If you're tired and beat up, from the previous day and, you ate McDonald's and all that crap that people eat, please don't eat that crap. That thing's garbage for you. But, you want to get plenty of rest so that your mind is fresh. You're clear. You're fresh and clear when you're actually knocking on those doors, okay? So you want to do these things. You want to make sure that that's what's going on inside your mind. You have a clean, clear, crisp mentality when you're knocking on those doors, okay? Understand that. So that I basically taught you guys how to accomplish this. Next, I want to actually get in what not to do. It's very important you guys understand what not to do because so many people actually do this. Sound like a typical salesperson. I'm going to repeat myself. Paul, why do you repeat yourself? I get that a couple times. Because just like a homeowner, which you need to listen up here, just like a homeowner, 90+%, okay, it's a high percentage, 90+% of your determining factor of whether or not you engage with somebody or you get a sale is based on how you present yourself, not what you say. Why? And how does that make sense with me repeating myself, not sounding like a salesperson? Plain and simple. It has to be clear to them. What you're doing and why you're doing it has to be clear. It has to make sense. If it's not making sense to them, they're not listening to every single word you're saying. I promise you, they are not listening to every single word you're saying. And if you're sounding like a typical salesperson, they're just justifying off the bat. Remember, before they're walking up to the door, they're thinking you're a salesperson. They're bam, right away, what are they doing? Plain and simple, this person is an actual salesperson, and I don't want to do business with him. Goodbye. Okay? So what happens to your confidence levels? It goes down. And I want to talk to you guys about something that's very important here. How much energy you put into something is a direct reflection of your output. What do I mean by that? The more energy you put into something, the more of your potential energy, the more of your potential you put into something, the more highly chances you're going to get a positive result or the result you're looking for. The less energy you put into something, the less of chances you're going to get of a result. What do I mean by that? If I'm super focused, you know, I got plenty of rest the night before, you know, I don't feel like garbage, I'm super confident, and I'm super excited to go out there and get a sale, and I knock on the door all happy and excited, and, you know, at every single door throughout the day, well, there's a higher chance that I'm going to close a sale that day, and you guys and gals out there know that, okay? However, I wanted to teach you guys a little circle, okay? What happens is the more energy you give, the better your result is. The better your result is, how much more energy do you use the next time around to closing more sales? You use more energy. So the more energy you use, the more sales you get, the more confident you get, and it keeps going on and on. Don't worry about how you sound like or what your pitch is. I promise you, 90+% is not what you're saying. I can guarantee you that this whole webinar that you guys and gals are listening to, not everything is going to sink in right away. So I repeat myself to really drill it through your minds, and then also my clients' minds. When I'm actually pitching at the door, I'll repeat myself because they're not listening. They're thinking, as you're talking, as you're pitching, they're thinking in the back of their mind, oh, okay, is this a salesperson? And this is you. And what I'm doing is basically, I'm up here and yada, yada, yada. You're pitching it in their mind, geez, what I got to do today? I can't wait. I gotta definitely, I gotta take the kids out, I can't wait till this guy or gal stops talking so I can, just tell them goodbye. And that's what's going on inside their mind, okay? So understanding that that's exactly what's going on inside their mind, you guys and gals need to know that you can easily lose focus. You can easily lose focus and confidence. So it's an ongoing circle. So let me do the opposite. You don't use much energy at the doors, okay? Let's say you use a little bit of your energy at the doors. And when you're using a little bit of energy at the doors, well, what is your result? You're using a little bit of your potential energy at the results. How much potential do you have within you? I'll tell you, when I step on the ice, when I'm playing hockey or when I'm door knocking, bam, I'm going up to that first door. I'm like rushing with energy, okay? How much of my potential? Scale yourself. I teach all my door knockers this. Okay, 1 to 10, 1 being the least, 10 being the most. How much energy do you put at the doors, at every single door? How well do you feel? Right now, I'm at a 10. I'm at a 9.9, 9.5, 9.1 thousand out of 10. Bam, I'm just that excited. So when I bring that within myself and I get myself to that level, it took time. I'll tell you, about 20 minutes before the webinar, I was kind of a little bit more like, I'm going to get on, and I got so much to do, and, I'm catching a flight soon. There's so many things that I got to do, but you know what? I hype myself up. I pump myself up. As I'm talking, I get stronger and stronger and stronger. Listen to the beginning of the webinar all the way up till now, how much more energy I'm using, how much more of my potential. It's an ongoing circle and a cycle that it may not make sense to you, but I promise you when you learn this, what happens is the more potential energy you use, the better result you're going to get. But the less potential energy you use, the less results you're going to get. But when you get a less result, let's say you're going out there, you're knocking on doors, hey, how's it going? You're not confident that you can go out there and close a sale. Well, you're getting less sales, and when you get less sales, well, what happens, plain and simple, to how much more energy you use on the doors? If you're going out there and you're not getting enough sales, well, it's very simple to lose focus and common sense that eventually you think you'll quit. Managers, business owners who are watching this, I teach this all the time. It's very important. When you get that chicken, you get that brand new sales rep. You brand new sales reps who are watching this, okay, because the majority are. And as I'm looking at the polls, you guys would see it right there. But the majority, you have that first, literally week to build that self-esteem up, and for salespeople to actually start off knocking and doing really well. Okay, the problem is there's another problem where a lot of salespeople, they start off doing very good. They go, and then bam, they just fall off the face of the earth because they overcomplicate it. I'm teaching you guys what you need to know throughout the whole process, but don't get like so confused of, oh my God, I got to do all these things. No, build excitement. It's not what you say. It's how you present yourself. Point things out in the yard. Don't sound like a salesperson. Be different, okay? Because if you're going door after door after door, feeling drained, like, oh, I didn't get a sale, or everybody's telling me not interested. Nobody's a homeowner in this neighborhood. There's no sales out here. Yeah, because Paul stole the last sale in that neighborhood, right? Doesn't exist. Folks, ladies and gentlemen, please understand something here. You guys are the best salesperson there is. Build that confidence up within you, okay? Know that every single door that rejects you, this is what I do. Number one, when I get out of my car and I go up to a door, I see this all the time. People go to the back of their car, pop the trunk, put on their name badge slowly, stretch out. No, you get out of your car, you should have your badge, your ID, everything on you, ready. You should have been pumping yourself up during your meeting, when you woke up, and when you do that, you're right away rushing to that door. Why? Carry that momentum. Because when you're not carrying that momentum, what's going to happen is plain and simple, you're going to get drained at every single door. However, what do? I don't drain myself at every single door. In the opposite, what I do is every single door that I get rejected at, I gain that much more energy at the next door. And I take myself, if I'm at a 6 to a 7, to an 8, to a 9, to a 10, it's a mental game, just like sports, folks. Sports is a mental game. You don't got to be all crazy excited. As a matter of fact, when I'm at the doors, all this energy is capped up within me. So that's exactly what you got to do. You got to cap it within you, okay? But bring out that energy to do whatever it takes to close that sale and engage with that person. Do not lose focus. Very, very important, okay? So post your questions up in here if you guys, blah, 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 holy, okay? How many doors, I'm going to answer questions. Phil, how many doors did you start with, and how many doors did you knock on at your prime? Okay, perfect question. Well, how many questions did I how many doors did I start with? As many as I can get my hands on. And I'd have to say, if I come up with a rough estimate, knocking, I'd probably do 200 to 300 doors. This is a summer program where you're working for 12 hours. I'm telling you, I'm pounding these doors. Start early in the morning. I always recommend starting early in the morning. Why? Because when you start early in the actual morning, what happens is, not many people are home, but you at least have the opportunity to close one sale before your prime time. And then when you're actually at your prime time, you got the chance to close 2 or 3 more sales. I closed 10 sales in one day once. However, 1 canceled and I got up to 9. Okay, and that was a Memorial Day, so everybody was home. I just bam, bam, bam. We had an actual company incentive where if they put each person up within, like I was up against this guy named Eric, and whoever lost within the person you were up with, who got less sales, you would cross-dress the other person, and we're going to the baseball game. And yeah, I was not losing that, dressing up like a gal going to the baseball game. Not gonna happen. Anyways, so that's the answer to that. In my prime, now in my prime, I still took it the exact same as when I started off. However, and understand this, this is important. I'm so glad, Phil, you asked this question. So during my prime, now instead of knocking on those 200-300 doors to close 3 sales, what do? I knock on the same amount of doors. It's not 200 to 300. I can't get to them because now I'm talking and engaging to more people. So I'm spending more time with people here, but I'm still maximizing the amount of doors I knock on. But now because my closing ratio went down from 1 in 50 to 1 in 3 in my prime, well, what I do is I'm now closing more sales but still keeping the exact same work ethic. Now that's key. I want you guys to understand that, folks. That's key because, Phil, you brought up something that's awesome. So many people, what they do is they get good, and now it means I can only go out, takes me an hour to go out there and close a sale. So what do? I go out there for an hour, I close a sale, and I go home. Do you want to make a 6-figure income? My first year, I seriously, not to brag and boast, but I got my 4,000 square foot house, a BMW 750 Li, And you know, I made my first year, $114,000. Second year, about 120, 130, something like that, 180. I don't even remember the number. Then I went to 200 and something thousand, and then 314,000, and it just took off from there. Why? Because I kept my momentum in my prime. Okay, so I hope that answers your question, Phil. Let me see here. Another one. Walter asks, I feel that my confidence is low, even while starting to make sales. How could I help myself stay positive and confident? Well, let me see. I feel like my confidence is low even while starting to make sales. Well, if you're starting to make sales and you're still not excited about it, door knocking might not be for you. Now, your company will never tell you that. Anybody who works for me or worked for me knows that. I always tell you guys, I always tell people, hey, if you can't excite yourself, if I can't, boom, pump you up and excite you, a lot of people, to get excited, just so you know, Walter, listen to my Door-to-Door Mastery podcast on Turf. They're like, your energy is just like, it's radiating, so that excites me. But in my mastery program, Walter, I actually train and teach you about your goals, how to actually set up your goals. And that's very important, because knowing why you started door-to-door sales and then actually keeping track on your progress towards what it is and how many sales you're actually closing, getting closer, watching your bank account grow, that's important. So for me, what worked was I had a bank account that had about $5,000 to $6,000 in it as I was saving money knocking when I got kind of started. I started off with nothing. On an air mattress with my wife, seriously, walking to the grocery store, a Walmart that was about 30 minutes away, grabbing groceries, coming back home. Okay, within my first big check, I had about like my first I think it was like $500 check. I went and I actually went to the auction, bought an actual SUV off cash. Nothing special, it was a GMC Jimmy. Friends made fun of me, but who cares? I bought it off cash. I don't like debt. I'm debt free. It's the best feeling in the world. So if you have debt, you got to pay it off. You know, if you don't have a bank account, which I always teach with a minimum of at least $10,000 in it, that should be your confidence booster. Open a separate account. I teach to open up 3 accounts, and this helps with your opener pitch because it helps get you excited. Account 1, account 2, account 3. Number 1, you have an account for your bills, your savings. Okay, you also have an investment account. And then you also have an entertainment account. There's 3 accounts. Okay, an entertainment account in the middle, which should be very little. It all depends on your age as well, but very little, especially if you don't have a bunch of money starting off. Eventually, when you make a bunch of money and you're doing really well, you can have and spend more money on fun stuff, as you can probably see in my back, some of my stuff. Anyways, so, you know, you can actually have entertainment stuff. But you want to also put a percentage of every single income that comes in, you want to put a percentage in these actual accounts. Okay, we've got 9 minutes. I'm going to wrap it up really quick over here. There's still something I want to teach you and educate you that's very important. So that's another thing. Let me jump to that. Sorry, my English is bad. At what time do I start working? Hey, who cares about English and how it sounds? You sound awesome in your text. Perfect. What time do I start? I start as early as possible. Normally, I don't like to go 8, 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock. You know, I'll go start at around 11 o'clock. 11 o'clock, I like that because it's not just waking people up. I hate to be just waking people up to try and pitch and sell them. That's not something that I want to do. So I start around 11 o'clock and I go once it gets dark. I feel it out. Now in some programs, it won't stop till 11 or 12 o'clock. The day I got 10, you know, at 1 canceled, there was 9 that went in. But that day, my actual last sale was at 11:30, and the technician showed up at midnight. Yes. The lady, I still remember, she had kids, is like, oh my God, you guys are doing it right now? Yeah, we're #1 in customer service. Our technician's just up the street here. He's finishing a drill. I have my kids asleep. Oh, don't worry. I know. I put it out there. It's true. It happened. But that is what, I knocked and knocked and knocked. Hours and doors and doors and doors, okay? So let me just end the questions there. I got to jump, into this right over here. Okay, so don't lose focus. Don't tell yourself you can't, you won't. Get pumped, get excited about this. How you feel is a direct reflection of exactly what it is your outcome will be. Okay, you guys and gals, stare at this picture, please. And a lot of you may have already seen it, okay? After 2 months of me knocking, I seriously wanted to quit because I wasn't the top salesperson. My manager stopped and looked at me. He took me in. I was in a field, I remember. He goes, Paul, why would you want to quit? Why in God's earth would you want to quit? I said, because I'm not the top salesperson. And just so you guys know, I finished 5th my first summer. yeah, it ate me alive because every sales job I ever did, from, selling shoes to you name it, I was the top salesperson always. But here I am just doing decent, doing really well, and this means a lot to me right here. I was literally right beside the actual gold mine. And I'm here to tell you guys, some of you may be at this position right over here, some of you may be a little bit closer, some of you may already have hit the diamonds, and you're just looking to train other people how to get those diamonds. Wherever you're at, this could be you, like literally that last straw, okay? Understand that as you're going, do not quit and walk back. Had I done that, I would have never have ever achieved the level of success that I have today. And my level of success that I actually have today, just so you guys know, my own company, my own alarm company, was generating over $1 million a year. It's amazing that, we've actually done that. The salespeople I've actually helped out. I own an internet marketing company, and this is not to put me on a pedestal again. I'm close to halfway to reaching my ultimate lifetime goals. I've already had my first dream car. Now I want to have my next dream car. Why do I say this? You guys need to have certain things in the back of your mind that you guys want to accomplish in life. And when you actually have that, you will. I understand, and you guys need to understand that you will accomplish it so long as you really work in it. Door-to-door sales, there's a lot of money in it, okay? There's a ton of money in door-to-door sales. So being that there's a lot of money in door-to-door sales, I'm going to post up right over here, obviously, what I ultimately want you guys to understand. I have a door-to-door mastery program. In this door-to-door mastery program, as excited as I am right now on this, that's the type of level of excitement that I actually bring to the table. Now, I bring up my door-to-door mastery program because it's only $97 right now for an unlimited lifetime access to it. I'm building it even more and more, and I'm going to give you an actual walkthrough of the actual door-to-door mastery program. Yes, I'm selling it. Yes, I make money off of it. This is what I've committed myself to doing, is to actually teaching my students exactly how to knock on doors. And I'm super confident at this point. I am 100% confident at this point that you guys understand and know that I know my stuff about knocking on doors, that I made a lot of money, and I've also, more importantly, Wayne Gretzky always said it, you miss 100% of the shots you do not take. That's my favorite saying. However, Wayne Gretzky was the best hockey player, but the worst coach. Just because someone's the best hockey player, the best salesperson out there, it doesn't mean they're the best coach. And I never was the best salesperson longer term in a summer program. That these summer sales, like I hear these crazy, ridiculous 500 sales in a summer. That wasn't me. I wasn't no 500 sales in the summer type of guy. But year-round, doing it over and over and over again, having the stamina and the ability to close 1 in 3 homeowners, I've learned to master it, and I'm a very good salesperson. I became really good at it, and more importantly, a very good educator, a very good teacher. So right here on the actual side of your screen, as you guys can see, you guys will actually be able to add to cart my actual mastery program, and I'm going to give you a walkthrough of it. What is it? It's tons of videos that I've set up about how to master everything from your opener pitch. After you learn and get that engagement, you're going to realize you're going to start to engage with people. And now that you're engaging with people, well, the next thing is to actually either enter the property or where does your product go? You got to start building your features and benefits. The opener pitch is the most important, but it's like love and marriage. You can't have one without the other. If you don't know how to master your features and benefits, you get in the house or you get in where your product goes, and now you need to build, excitement about, or, build a ton of value in your actual product. So, what they pay when you actually eventually bring it up is so much lower. You need to shine in your features and benefits. And I teach that in my actual door-to-door mastery program. So let me jump into this here and show you guys, first of all, another screen. I got multiple monitors. This is my blog, okay? And on my blog, you guys can get a ton of information, obviously, about my actual, about everything and anything as well you can possibly think of. But a lot of people actually think in the back of their mind, are like, dude, I mean, that's awesome. I read it, and thank you so much. Literally, just because you give, like, all this free information, I'm going to take you up on your thing. Yes, I'm selling it. I'm 100% transparent. I'm 100% selling my mastery program. I need to obviously dedicate myself to this. Paul, your mastery program, it's great. I hear this all the time. You're used to making thousands of dollars a week. I don't think your mastery program is making just that. It's not. I'm not making, the $7,000 to $8,000 a week I make in, knocking on doors and building a team. That's true. However, I've dedicated myself to this because I know long term, Just like when I first got started with door knocking, that's exactly how long-term is what I'm actually building on this. Sorry, I'm looking at tabs and whatnot. So this is my actual mastery program. And just so you guys know, when you guys actually add to cart $97 one-time payment, as you probably got in my follow-up emails, the prices are going to be going up very soon. And I'm 100%, this isn't just a sales pitch, 100% going to increase it. $97 for this, literally you go out there, I teach you one thing, and you go out there and you actually close the sale, you actually get, obviously, this membership paid tenfold. It's ridiculous. At $97, literally, you'll never see it lower than that. And I'm 100% guaranteeing that to you. I'd rather just take it all down than to go lower. It is going up very, very soon. So that's why I made this webinar, so I can teach, educate you, build more trust, and obviously, that just like you guys do on the doors, like I do on the doors, I have to build your trust first. You won't buy from me. You won't like what or take what I have to offer if there's no likability, you don't like me, or you don't trust me that I'm that person. But when you do, obviously it makes more sense. Now, especially when you have a price that obviously is extremely fair for your product and or service that you're selling at the door, my door-to-door mastery program, you know, it makes sense and people jump on board. So I have a huge community that has already taken me up on this offer. However, before the price increase, that's why I'm doing this, so you guys know that. And you guys will see it. A lot of people will actually kick themselves, but it is what it is. So what do you get? For a one-time, yes, all the videos are streaming from any device. Yes, it is a one-time payment of $97, even when the price increases. Doesn't matter. When the membership area grows, I add new videos. I also send you guys a link saying, hey, I just want you guys to know that I added 2 more videos. I added 1 more video. This is exactly the link, so you guys can watch them. So you'll actually learn in Module 1, it's the beginner's guide. For those of you that own companies, it's very important to really not skip this step, or even obviously if you're a door knocker, go through this step. Do not skip it. People are like, oh, I know this stuff. Yeah, if you know this stuff, why aren't you closing enough sales? I promise you. You know, why did you choose door-to-door sales? Me? It made sense to me. I can offer a product and or service at the customer's place of residence, like home security, for example. That's where home security deals with their home, so I can deal with it right there, but the price made sense. It was very inexpensive for them to actually get and acquire. So if it made sense, it's a win-win situation, and, you know, basically, I was right there. Well, why did I choose door-to-door? Because I can make a ton of money with the product that I was selling. And I did that. I made a bunch, and that's exactly, I remembered all the time when I wanted to quit, why did I choose to knock on doors? Next, what to expect at the doors? Because a lot of people who are starting off new don't know exactly what to expect. And I go through the details of what to expect. Listen more, speak less. Talk, 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 talk. Kind of like I'm doing on this webinar, right? Talk, talk, talk. I have to because I can't pull you guys in just quite yet. We're going to get into questions after. But anyways, listen more, speak less. So many of you guys are spilling out all your information right away. How to not sound like a salesperson. I break down the details of that. Module 2, after you guys know exactly why you chose to do door-to-door sales, which is going to help you when you're knocking on doors and when you want to quit, this Module 1 is really going to help you, and you write it down and I show you guys how to do all that. You jump into after Module 2. Now, setting up your goals, and then obviously the numbers game. The numbers game is, you know, goals, I go through the details of that. It's on board and everything. The numbers game is all about knocking on a ton of doors at first, but then how you get yourself from 1 in 20, 1 in 50, all the way down. How do you get yourself down to closing 1 in 3, 1 in 10? How do you do that, okay? So here we go. We jump into that. Then, after that, I get into staying focused. How do you stay focused? And a lot of people are going to say, oh, Paul, that's common sense. No, it's not. Especially if you're a manager, staying focused is the #1 hardest thing, most difficult thing for door knockers to keep in the back, long term. Focus. They lose focus. I just can't get my head straight. I show you guys what helped me stay focused, what helps me stay focused on a day-to-day basis. And you need to be teaching and educating your actual sales reps. If you're a manager or if you're a sales rep, you need to focus on that. Next, I go into Module 3. Just so you know, whenever I add videos to these modules, you will get them, all of them, okay? Understanding transitions. Understanding transitions. A transition is when you're starting your opener, like now, for example, I taught you. What is that middle step, transitioning nice and fluid into your actual features and benefits? Paul, how do I ask to get inside the house? Paul, how do I ask to go look at their backyard if I'm doing pest control? Paul, how do I transition into it? Okay, and when you do, obviously because you built your opener pitch, because we went about that in this webinar, and I go into it on screen in more detail over here. But anyways, you need to build value in your product. Building value, a ton of value in what you have to offer. Building value. This is the next most important thing. If people don't see a ton of value in what you have to offer, they're not going to take your product and or service. They're not going to. Urgency. You have to have some set of urgency. In this webinar, I'm building urgency as the price is going up. Is that a lie? It's not. And I'll tell you how I related to that when I was knocking on doors selling security. And you guys and gals who have actually sold security, selling security, pest control, trust me. If you implement what I teach, like telling them that, yeah, absolutely, for me to come back, I can absolutely do that at any time. The only thing is, our technicians are out here in the neighborhood. I would have to charge you a $99 reinstatement fee, a setup fee, whatever it is. Charge them that $99 when they call you back. Yeah, you may lose some customers, but what it's going to do to you and what it's going to do to your sales, I've charged so many people to go back. And I've had so many people, tell me at the end, please, if you can just waive it, you know what, let me come by. Stay focused on that, okay? Build urgency, and I go into detail like in that video. The close, the actual closing video. How do I close a sale, Paul? I always have to call a closer. I talk about calling a closer. I talk about closing sales. I teach you guys how to, when to, and the previous steps that are very important, how to build up to your close. Reassure them. Reassure them. Reassure them. Because so many people who are struggling with cancellations, you're not reassuring them at the end that about the actual sale. Next, referrals. How do I build referrals? How do you build referrals? Referrals are so important. Referrals, if you actually leave 4 business cards with a homeowner but do the right thing throughout your pitch and actually do the things I teach you how to get referrals, you should be getting about 1 to 2 referrals every week or every other week. You should be. That's how you learn how to actually work referrals. Now, after that, in Module 4, I go through handling objections. How do you handle objections, okay? And how do you actually do it right? How do you do the whole process correctly? Handling objections are the best things you guys can get at the door. When you don't have objections, people telling you stuff, that's when you need to be scared. That's when you actually need to be frightful, okay? You need to be frightful about that if you guys are not getting objections. I teach you everything about objections in that video, okay? And Module 5 is for business owners, recruiters. I talk about the top salespeople, the average salespeople, the beginner salespeople, the traits they actually have, and I'm also going to be giving you guys log sheets and stuff like that. It's coming. What Module 5 is, recruiting as well. I am, and I have to say, a bad ace recruiter. I'm a very good recruiter, bad ace, which means very good. I'm a very good recruiter. And a lot of people have asked me for this module in particular because they want to grow a career in door knocking. You don't want to be knocking for the rest of your life or you're going to burn yourself out. You want to grow into a 6-figure income, a high 6-figure income, knocking on doors. That is the next video that's coming. It's in the works. I'm making the actual recruiting video, how to recruit, how to go face-to-face and actually talk to people, the things to say. I'll tell you, way too many recruiters are doing it wrong. Yo, what's up, man? You want to make money? You want to see all this? That is not the way to do it. You got to be passive, and I show you guys how to do that. When I have new YouTube videos, you have access to all of them over here. You can just click in the members area and actually get access to the videos directly over there, okay? So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to, first of all, because sometimes a lot of people, I'm redirecting you guys to that actual door-to-door mastery members area. Yeah, I'm pushing it. This is what I committed to. This is what I want to do for literally the rest of my life or as long as it lasts. I want to teach door knockers. I want to train you guys exactly how to master the art of door-to-door sales. What I also have for you business owners in this game, I've obviously worked myself up in the industry. You guys are also going to hear me not only from all the YouTube, type in Google door-to-door sales. I'm all over. I'm like the top door-to-door sales master coach. I'm the top coach for door-to-door sales. And I'm so grateful. I'm so appreciative of it. And I seriously thank you guys for really like sticking in with it. But I've now invented, obviously I have a coding team that actually have invented the industry software. It's called FeelQuick. You guys are going to get to hear it. And those that own a home security company, if you guys are familiar with other competitors like OnGuard, Security Tracks, well, I promise you this is going to blow those out of the water. Hands down, it's going to blow it out of the water. And I'm going to be taking free beta users. My beta users are going to be, obviously, my door-to-door mastery member areas. member people, they're going to be the first people that I'll be taking free beta users. And again, it's going to be 2 to 4 months. It's going to be done. So that's going to be first, and I'm obviously this is what I committed to. I'm really going to be doing it so that I teach you guys over and over again. What I'm going to do is, let me see the chat log here. Questions, if you guys have at this point any questions, any more questions, feel free to ask me it. No, I did not have a cup of coffee before before this webinar. I have one in the morning now, and I stick to that. This is my natural personality. The way you get this energy is by seriously loving life, and the only way to love life is to hit your goals. When you hit your goals, when you actually start like achieving your goals, that's what truly makes you happy. I know it's hard. I know it's difficult. Believe me, to go on knowing that you have to pay bills at the end of the month, and you don't have that money in your account. Your spouse is like, dude, what's going on? I was in your situation. I really mean that. I was in your situation, your spot. I really don't want you guys to suffer anymore. I don't. I want you guys to learn this stuff. Like seriously, for $97, really, it's going up. I mean, like you can like learn this stuff, engage with me. I can get back to you. You know, go ahead and feel free to ask any more questions. Would it be the same price by next week? I don't get paid for my sales this week until next week. I can't guarantee you, and I won't feel guilty when it does go up. Sorry, I don't mean to be rude. I'm transparent about it. Don't worry. I mean, if it does go up, like I said, again, I'll always keep it under what one sale costs. Really, like seriously. I can't promise you that. I really can't. I really can't. I have, and just so you guys know, there's server fees and whatnot. Next person, Lamborghini dream car. Somebody must be following what my teachings. Yeah. About 4 years ago, I was about to buy my Lamborghini. Was it smart? It was not smart at the time. Was I making a high six-figure income? Yeah. Did I think it was going to help me out with recruiting? One of my actual sales guys, who now, by the way, has grown into owning his own company, his own dealership, was sitting there. I'm literally at that buy now button. It was on eBay Motors. Oh, everything was perfect. I till this day, I'm like, because the market was kind of in a down. I was obviously in its down here in the States, and I was like, should I buy it? Should I really click it and buy it? I wanted it so bad. Had I done it, it would have literally appreciated by now. So yeah, Lamborghini's my dream car. But you know, I don't get excited anymore about the whole luxury, crazy luxuries of life. I'm more dedicated and humbled now that I obviously have 2 kids, a wife, and but I want that. It's still something I want. And you know, Phil Quick is gonna be. I'm dedicating myself to the industry, dedicating myself to my students. It obviously helps me out when you guys take me up on the offer. But you know, I wouldn't put anything on it if I wasn't building enough value in what I have to offer. This is just the start. So, you know, over here you should see an add to cart button. Any questions you guys may have, I'm here for you. As many questions as you guys and gals may have. Let me go through here. Yep. Yeah, it was a good game for, oh, dude, that better not have been the score, Simon. It was a good game for a neutral. Okay, anyways, I don't want to think too much about it. That didn't tell me the score. Thank you. Simon, hi. Before you have an open pitch, how do you prepare beforehand? Do you have a clipboard? Oh, yes, okay. That's right, my pitch, right? Thank you, Phil. Sorry about that. Simon, before you have an opening pitch, how do you prepare beforehand? Prepare beforehand, yes. Okay, I never stand directly right in front of the actual door. So pretend that's a peephole and you're looking at it. I don't just go like, you know, right up, and so many people are just like right up like this. And when they look at the peephole, they're just, you know, just right there. No, especially if you're knocking with somebody, you want to be as far back as possible. Stand as far back as possible, okay? So you're standing really far back, and I knock on the door. I never am the first, you know the saying, the first person who asks or says something loses? I'm never right away the first person to talk. So I'll actually have my notepad and paper. Don't have this crazy notepad and all that. Seriously, I used to even just knock with a contract and a piece of paper to kind of just pretend I'm writing stuff down, a little thing like this. So I knock on the door. The answer, yeah, can I help you? Yeah. And I pretend I'm completing what I'm writing, and normally I'm writing stuff down. Yeah. You the homeowner here? Question-based selling, guys. Yeah, I'm the homeowner here. Now they're like, okay, typical salesperson spews everything out. Handshake, hi, I'm so-and-so. What I do is I grab a business card, for example, and I'll hand them a business card. What I'm doing is I'm actually out here in the neighborhood, and I'm pretty sure you've heard of a lot of, and I talk like this, and I'm far back, and I talk really low so that they come out and come to me. what I'm doing here is I'm actually out here setting up, taking care of a bunch of issues that we had in the neighborhood. Have you heard of any of those issues? In the back of their head, they're like, heard of any of those issues? Like, you're like, dude, what are you talking about? Like who are you and what are you with, right? Remember, that's our goal here. Who are you and what are you with? That's what you want to do. That's what you want to accomplish. So, yeah, sorry about that. Yeah, I'm actually Paul, and I'm pretty sure you've heard of my company, right? And I'll point, I won't just say my company, I'll point, I'm pretty sure you've heard of my company, right? And they start looking. Now you've engaged them. You want to engage them, okay? That's one way of doing an opener. Stand far, talk low. Don't be super excited like, hey, how's it going? My name is Paul, and what I'm doing is this, and this is what we're doing, and this is why I'm doing it. You don't want to do that. You want to be different. You want to, for example, scan around. So if, like, you're doing security, for example, you take a look and you see a yard sign over there, and you knock on the door, they answer the door. Hi, quick question for you. I don't know, do you know many of your neighbors out here? And then go back to looking down at the paper. Do I know many of my neighbors out here? Sorry, who are you? Oh, I'm Paul. And I'm pretty sure you've heard of, like, some of the issues we had with our older systems faulting. It's called the $1 million problem. In security, for example, or pest control. Let's just say I didn't sell pest control. I stick behind it. I have it for my house. But yeah, have you got a chance to talk to any of the customers of our customers out here? Our customers, sorry, who? Oh, some of the issues that people have had with those horrible rodents or bugs or whatever you guys say. Have you heard of any of the? You don't want to spew too much. Oh, you're selling pest control? Oh, not really. First of all, I'm actually out here. You could be selling pest control, but you could also not be, right? You could be trying to talk about, just to see if they've had an issue. And that's what I would personally be doing. I wouldn't be wanting to sell everybody. I always say, know your demographic, know who you're selling. And I always talk about, I'll go and look and talk to people like, no, I'm seriously out here looking for people who have had issues with, any pests or anything like that. Have you seen, as a matter of fact, let me show them a picture. Have you seen any scorpions like this? Whatever it is, you want to be different. You want to be different. The typical pest control person that knocks on my door, they all sound the same, and I stop them. I teach them. If you knocked on my door and you're on this podcast, this webinar, you've seen, I've actually stopped you and said, hey, that's awesome. That was actually cool, but you should probably try and implement this. I'm a teacher. Here's my website. Okay? So you actually want to do that. You want to stand back. Yeah, sorry about that. I'm Paul. I should have introduced myself. But I've been talking to a lot of your neighbors. As a matter of fact, you know your neighbor Brenda up the street here? And people who I talk to, I actually ask them if they know them. There's no lying, cheating, stealing, or scamming going on. Don't ever lie and cheat and steal. But you want to be assertive. You want to sound very assertive, okay, when you're actually pitching at the doors. So, that's pretty much the opener pitch in a nutshell. If you guys have any more questions, I'm knocking in New York. What's the biggest thing you've seen? What is the biggest thing you've seen help you in the East? East, West, North, it doesn't matter. I got married in Michigan, just so you guys know, all the way in the East. People are a little different. You got to adapt to your people. You got to mirror your customer. If it's a senior that comes to the door, in your opener pitch, you're not going to be like, hey, what's up, girl? Hey, how's it going, lady? Hey, how are you? Oh, sorry about that, ma'am, to bother you. I'll do that. I'll never say sorry to bother you unless it's a senior. But the reason why, am I really sorry to bother them? Are you really sorry to bother them? You need to understand that. Are you sorry to bother them? If you are, yeah, then you're putting yourself kind of down in a way. I'm not sorry to bother them. If you're sorry to bother them, why are you knocking on doors? Don't go bothering people at the doors. I don't hound people. I'm not a pest at the door. Oh, why do you want this? And why do you? There's no point. Just talk to your potential customers and mirror who comes to the door. If they're a person who has this jacked up truck and, hey, what's up, man? What can I do for you? Yeah, hey, dude. First of all, quick question, dude. Is that how big are those rims? How high is that jacked up, that truck? I don't know much about trucks and stuff, but you want to engage with them. That was very useful. Thanks. You're very welcome, Simon. Very welcome. You really want to engage them. You really want to engage them. Okay. So that's the big thing. I'm going to be teaching more about this, obviously. I really want to end it. We're 18 minutes over, 8:18. Thank you so much, obviously. I sent you guys the link. If you guys want to jump aboard onto the Door-to-Door Mastery Program, you guys and gals out there, thank you so much who already have. This is the Door-to-Door Mastery Program. You've probably seen this actual add to cart, 97 bucks, and my whole thing here. You get the whole modules. That's what these are. This is the program. It's the door-to-door mastery program. Thank you so much for joining me in this webinar. I love you guys all. You guys take care, and I will see you guys later on.